What's up, guys? Lord Beardo here from Loot Nation. We have finally made it to the top 200 on the leaderboard, little beardos. This is going to be the last couple raids, and then the last raid of the video will be that final push to break the top 200 on the US leaderboards. Now, I switched up my army type a little bit here. I was trolling around on the internet and found that Powerbang was actually running this army composition, so I gave it a little bit of a whirl, and it is basically replacing the clan castle full of loons with one extra lava hound and getting rid of your minions and using the baby dragons. Now, there are two ways of using this. You can send the army in kind of the same way that you were sending in your traditional lava loonian, more of like a big wave with the baby dragons behind it, or you could also use the baby dragons and the heroes to push into a particular part of the base and take down a queen or a high area of important buildings. I think that sentence was totally backwards. An important area with high target buildings. There we go. That makes a ton more sense. So as we push through the back of the base here, we have so many balloons left over, and we're going to stomp ourselves through this base and get closer and closer and closer to that 200 mark. Now, in order to stay up in the 200, it is very difficult. You have to be lucky and find bases with high trophy yields, because after you fall out of shield, you almost always get smashed for huge trophy counts. And if that's the case and you don't actually get any raids in or get high trophies, you will fall down in the top 200. So it really comes down to buying more personal shields and also just fighting your face off all day long. So some days you'll get 4, 5, 6 raids in, and in other days you'll get maybe 2 raids the entire day, and that just doesn't bode well for letting somebody come in and smash you. Now check out HomeboySlayoj from Mega USA. He has 2 million loot before the bonus. This is unbelievable. Now, this is something that I've been commonly seeing up here. Not too common, but definitely super high loot raids. I guess this guy literally doesn't need a single penny. His base is totally maxed out. He's got some heroes to do. That's why he has no dark elixir. But you'll see right there, I send in a good amount of I take down a good amount of buildings with my heroes, and what that does is it allows for a better funneling system into that town hall with the baby dragons in the end of the raid, and that is basically what you're trying to do. Now, this is not a foolproof army type. I actually just lost a raid on 49% with 1 baby dragon breath left to throw down on the Inferno Tower to at least secure that I didn't fail the raid. It was a heartbreaker, but you'll watch right here as the baby drags all stack up in the middle. They will take down that king. The town hall came down on its own from the balloons, bombs, and now we just have baby dragons all over, and the baby dragons are tanky enough where they can keep you alive and in the raid, even though a lot of your little tiny intricacies of the raid begin to fall apart. Now, you'll see right here, I'm already at 1.2 million on the loot, but look at all this loot on the bottom. It's such a heartbreaker when you can't come in here and take down these huge bases for extra loot. I would just love to have my heroes right at that moment. There's 1 archer tower down there and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of loot just waiting to be taken, but nonetheless, we are going to get 18 trophies taken from that base and chug along a little bit closer to that top 200 leaderboard. And you know, it's really not like the craziest thing ever to make it to the top leaderboard, because all you really have to do is just keep playing the game enough. Though I have found the secret, and it is these top bases that are fully maxed out with defenses. They keep getting pushed up higher and higher and higher based off of their design, just from defense alone. I have like 3 defends, and some of these guys have 20 plus defends. Now, if you give them 20 or 30 trophies for those 20 defends, you can see where they make up this space for 200, 300 trophies and shoot themselves to the top of the leaderboard rather fast. So I'm going to focus a little bit more on my defenses moving forward in the next month or two. I definitely don't want to leave my heroes in the dust. When this season ends in the next 4 or 5 days, oh man, I really hope we end in the top 200 for the end of the season. Because I missed this one raid, is going to really set me back about 2 or 3 days to get to the top 200 for finishing the season out. So if it works out well, we'll hopefully make it to the top leaderboard at the very last day. If not, we will be so close, and it'll be a painstaking feeling inside that I've put a whole month, if not longer, into pushing, and we're right there. We're on the cusp. You cannot lose a single raid in the end of the season, and we dropped one. Beardos! Oh my goodness. It's a heartbreak. I'll have to show that one on the next top 200 because we got all this wonderful stuff to celebrate first, because breaking into the top 200 was super cool. I was so excited to do it. I was actually in the middle of an epic Call of Duty match, and I had to throw the game off to the side and go ahead and get this raid in. And next season, like I was saying, we will focus a little bit more on actually farming in Legends, maybe staying towards the lower Legends and kind of chipping away, finding fun bases, playing with new army types, kind of messing around with some top level army types. Maybe not so much of the real push. Right here, we're at 213, but I was getting a little tired of the push, man. It takes a long time to sit in the clouds. I want to have a little bit more fun with those level 6 golems, kind of try some ground and pounds, maybe mess around with the air armies a little bit differently. So just all around looking for more dynamic raiding style against the top 11s, and I think we're going to need to practice that a little bit lower, because every single raid, when it matters so much, you don't really have space for error, and you can't really play much with the armies. So we're going to mess around with some different types. Now this raid right here was absolutely so much fun. The thing with these raids, and the thing that keeps happening that I'm checking now, is the bases are pretty much segregating the loot and some high target air defense, like air defenses, I guess, if you will, all in one area, and then the other side of the base will be separated with large gaps of empty space. And I think the idea is to split up your army and get people to fight from the wrong direction. So if you come in from the top too hot and use your spells too early, you'll waste them not on high target areas. If you come in from the bottom, you might waste your heroes or might waste your tanking troops because there's so much defense. Now you'll see I push the heroes in early with the idea to help take down some air defenses, and the heroes don't really get to the air defenses too well. Now they are still alive, so it does help out a little bit here when that lava hound starts picking up all the fire for the heroes, but they're going to push right up under that town hall. The balloons are going to come across rather well. All the heroes are starting to die off, and now we have a huge mass of balloons that are catching the end of that raid spell and sweeping around the backside of the town hall. Now, it is all about floating your baby dragons in to get them into the middle, and that is the biggest and most important thing inside these raids. You'll see right there, one baby dragon, one little lava pup is going to go ahead and snatch up that town hall, and that's pretty much the gist of these raids. You want to clear out enough space around the town hall and away from the town hall so none of the air defenses can take down your baby dragons, and you just kind of float them in onto the town hall after the raid. I just had a raid that I only had one lava pup on, and it had about 5% of the health left on the town hall, and now we are sitting at 201. We are one spot away from getting back into the top 200. So I think it will be a little bit of a dogfight trying to make sure that we sit up over the 200 mark in the USA on that last day. That would be really fun. We're gonna do our best. We're going to try not to freak out when we lose. It happens, but you know, if it doesn't hurt, then why would you play something, man? It gotta be worth, the juice gotta be worth the squeeze, if you know what I mean. In other words, you won't really care. So, we are pushing top leaderboards. We've broken the 200 mark. 189. We got as high as 160 something, I want to say. We moved right into like the 170s right after this. This is actually a great night that we hit. We just kept finding high trophy bases. And I believe we were right on high 160s was the highest mark that I'd gotten to. We are currently, when this video touches down, at 201. I got 38 minutes and 10 seconds until I get shielded, and if we get a lucky defense, maybe, just maybe, we'll be in that top 200. If not, it looks like we will be fighting our faces off the next 4 or 5 days, trying to make sure we secure that top 200 spot. Now, guys, if you are out there and you are pushing the top 200, I hope you guys have the patience and the awareness to get those raids going, because they are few and far between, and when the trophies come, they come big. Now, I did try to switch up my design right here on my base. I try to change it up a little bit to try to get a lucky defend, and it doesn't always work with the lucky defends. Sometimes my jersey base does better. I think it throws people off. They get a little squirrely and they can't really figure out what's happening with the base design. But that's it, man. We made it. We made it to the top 200. We just got to make sure that we sink our feet on solid ground by the end of the 4 or 5 days so we can actually end the season top 200. Little beards, love you all. Peace out.